Hey, ho, and what do you know? Welcome back to Bloons Go Boom. I am your host. We are in our series of taking on the brand new map, Ancient Portal, and getting all the way to Chimps. So, join us today as we tackle the Chimps difficulty. Let's dive right in. Alright, we are starting with our hero, Sauda, on this, our favorite Crescent Moon buff tile, and we are just going to get started with that. The reason we like this tile the most is because, yes, while it does give Sauda the ability to see camo balloons, that is redundant. She can already see camo balloons once she starts. We wanted to give her this all-pop ability where she can pop lead with her axes, not just her abilities. It's going to really help us out later, and it's not going to make us as dependent on her cooldowns. So that's what we're going to do first. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a sub right here on this other tile, as close to this portal as we can to help with a little bit of coverage here in this early portion. Then what is going to be our most important tower for this run and this strategy is going to be this tack shooter placed right above our hero. The strategy for this is to get this tack tower to a 502 leveling. So that is going to be our focus and our goal. We're going to start out by making it a 302 to start out. If you have played update number 45, whether it be the new boss or this new map, let us know what you think in the comments below. I really like this map. I think they did a lot of cool things with it, as well as it being such a short track. There's some really cool Easter egg or kind of ability features in it that I just think are great, and it came out right before Halloween and the spooky season, so I think it's very on brand for this time of year. So now that we've got this to a 302, we are going to upgrade our monkey sub to a 200, giving it the ability to see what other towers can see and aim in those areas as well, so it's really extending its range. And while we wait to earn some money for our next tower we're going to purchase, I just want to talk about a couple of things that this map has that are unique to it. These three monkeys will light up about halfway through the game and give us a really strong ability to freeze and do massive damage to any balloons on the screen. So we're going to use that at least once throughout this run. You don't have to, but it's very fun to utilize. We can also touch this little monkey down here. I don't know if that's patch or not. And realign this portal and shift it to the side. It does have a very quick cooldown, but we're not going to mess with it on this run because it's chimps. It's very difficult. We want to make sure we're doing all the right things. And then these crescent moons I'll explain in just a moment. But first, we're going to put a monkey village where it can touch these first two. And we are going to give it a 0 to 0 pathing so that this tower can gain camo detection. As I mentioned, this tack shooter is going to be our, workhorse throughout most of this run, and that's what's going to help us. So we're going to focus on making sure it can attack every type of balloon, whether it be camo, zebra, purple, Moab, everything we want it to be able to destroy. That's what we're going to be focused on. And as I said, so now that we're going to gain a little bit more money to give this its 4th tier, the crescent moons on this map are very cool. You can place your heroes on them and they will all get buffs, like I mentioned Sauda's before. They are always the same ones when you play, but each crescent moon is different from the other. So there's ones that give you lowered cooldown, there's ones that give you extra range and extra pierce. I like this one for this strategy, but you can definitely play around and experiment and see which ones you like the best. Alright, this is the part that's really important. Once we do this, we've actually got a lot of work to do before round 40 comes up. So we have a tier 4 monkey. We are then going to do a 220 for our monkey village. Making both of these towers, this hero and this tower, actually pop significantly faster. We want to increase their rate of speed. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to upgrade this to the barb darts and the heat tip darts, as well as the ballistic missile once we have the funds for it. And this is what's going to take out our first Moab on round 40. Perfect. So let's see how this does against this Moab as it comes through. Perfect. Nothing even made it through the portal, and that's great for us. That's exactly what we were hoping for. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to take this and we're going to do primary training. And really, the reason we wanted to do primary is because we want all of our primary monkeys, which does include our tack shooter, to get more range, pierce, and projectile speed. So once we've done that, we are going to wait for just a little bit, and we are going to get this monkey sub its first strike ability. So let's speed it up until we have enough funds to do that. Alright, and as you can see, nothing really made it past this first section, this first wave, so we are going to give that first strike ability. And this ability we're going to use a couple of different times throughout it. You can obviously use it every time it cools down. Just make sure you have it available on round 60 and round 80 to deal with those next Moabs that come through. You can also use it in the low 60s to help deal with those first 4 to 5 Moabs that run through as well. Next, we're going to get another monkey out, or another tower out here, and that is going to be our Buccaneer monkey. And we are going to give him the 4-2-0 pathing. So I get it all the way up to 3-2-0, and then I'll do the last one once we have the funds for that. And this will be the strategy that really gets us through round 60 right now. Having this extra monkey, once you give him the 4th tier on his top path, he does get that increased range with those planes that are flying around, and that's going to be a big help for us as well. We're going to try to put as much damage out as fast as possible because of how short of a track Ancient Portal actually is. And there we are, there's our planes for that. So this will be the strategy that gets us through round 60, and then we've got a couple of different things we're going to do just to cover ourselves once we've done round 60 using the first strike ability from the sub. Alright, and you can see we just got our ability nice and lit up. I can use this at the beginnings of the 60s. Most of the strategy does not involve using this ability, but it is really nice having the ability to it. And speaking of abilities, we just used our monkey sub ability on that red Moab. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a necromancer monkey out here. I want his balloons to be right next to this portal. I always put him here in the middle because it increases the range they can have. He can now attack 1, 2, 3 different paths on this map, so that balloons really can't escape this wizard monkey. I like to put it right on this crescent moon as well. It's just a placement marker for me. Obviously I know it doesn't give any buffs for that. And then also what I'm going to do, because this is Chimps mode, we only get 1 life. I want to put a spike monkey here at the backside, and I want it to have some big stacks and some hot spikes, as well as some longer reach and longer life spikes as well. This is going to just give us a little bit more coverage when some things do go right in through here. 62 and 63 are difficult because we have these fortified Moabs, but this is why having this necromancer balloon army is so important. It really does stop a lot of that extra stuff from leaking through. And now that we've got this, we are going to fast forward because our strategy right now is to allow our tack shooter to get its tier 5 upgrade. So let's dive on in. Alright, and here we come up on round 70. As you can see, we've got a little bit over $10,000 worth of money right now. And 70 doesn't have any crazy large Moabs to be concerned with, but these, every 10 rounds they always kind of throw something at you here, so I always just want to make sure that we are good and set, and if we need to use our map ability or anything below, we can. Went through 70, not a big problem. And alright, let's get up to round 80 real quick. Alrighty, and you saw right at the end of round 78, we did get a lot of balloons that came through. That's why it's so important to have this spike factory here, giving you that little extra coverage. If you would like to, you can use the tier 5 Prince of Darkness upgrade. We're going to do that in a minute, but I think it's super important to get this upgrade first. If you've done it one way or the other, let me know in the comments what you think. And now, like I said, we're about to come up on round 80. It's super important we have the sub ability ready to go to be able to deal with our first COMG of the map. And there it goes. Super fast, super nice, super clean for us. So, all right, now we're going to start working on upgrading our last couple towers to be able to finish this off pretty simply for the rest of the time. I've tried to make this guide so that we do not have to use any, ooh, that was close as well, so that we do not have to use any other abilities throughout. Obviously, if you get to that round 81 and you're like I did, you get a little scared with these, use Sauda's abilities and you can get through those as well. But we tried to make this to where you didn't have to time all your abilities, because this is a very difficult map to do that with. It's so short, and if you're playing it on double speed like we are, it's very, very difficult to time up everything exactly right. You might, 1 second late and it's already gone through. So we've got our tier 5 tack shooter now, we've got our Inferno ring, and you're going to see just how this thing really does start to carry us through the rest of this game. The next thing we're going to focus on is just tier 5ing a couple towers just to help us out. The next one is obviously, like I said, going to be our Wizard Monkey. So we're going to get it up to 28,000 and get the Prince of Darkness. And now we can see here at round 85, we're taking care of those ZOMGs with really just the Inferno ring and a couple of other, helpful attacks as well. But it really is the Inferno ring doing a lot of the heavy lifting. 2 ZOMGs at the same time, 3, 4. I mean, this tier 5 tower does a whole lot of damage to those high level Moabs, and it allows us to really knock everything out. There they go again. Getting close to round 90. This is about when you'd like to start seeing your Prince of Darkness come out. And round 90, we saw those DDTs flash on the screen really quick. That's why I like having this camo detection here. We don't want to have to depend on our Wizard Monkey's shimmer ability to take those out, because the DDTs move so fast, and they've already crossed half of this portal, this first portal section, by the time the DDTs get to our Inferno ring without camo. That might not have enough power to destroy them. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade this tack shooter to deadly spikes, just make them a little more powerful, give us a little more coverage on the end. And then the last thing that I'm going to focus on doing is getting this aircraft carrier to a carrier flagship. These 3 tier 5 abilities are really going to help us throughout, the end of this. We're at, round 94. We're almost at the end here. '95's got quite a few DDTs thrown into it, but this Prince of Darkness with its reanimated Moabs really does help take care of that. That's why I wanted to focus on that before the carrier flagship. And as we enter into round 96, we're going to be very, very close to getting our final upgrade before we get to the bad. Go. Entering round 98, so we are 2 rounds away from the bad coming out. And like I said, I've tried to make this guide as simple as possible so you didn't have to use any of the abilities in these last couple rounds because of how fast everything moves. So feel free, when this bad comes out, use all the abilities, use the map ability, just to make it easier on yourself, but we're going to show you that it's not necessary. Slow it down a little bit now that it's halfway through that first portal. You can see it's really getting a lot of damage pumped into it. If you can see it, all the markings are going, and you're going to see it break here in just a moment, I believe, before it gets to the portal. Yep, there it goes. There go the DDTs. They get destroyed. Now it's just those ZOMGs. And they're done. We got our Insta Monkey. It's always going to have a tier 3 pathing on these Insta Monkeys because it is an advanced one. And there we go. There's our medal. There's our 900 monkey money. And hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful at all, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel for more balloons going boom. Bye-bye.